All right, for the jersey number 73 mentions, because that's what we do. We honor the episode number that coincides with the jersey number of the legends that wore the number, or some maybe soon to be legends. We'll see. But we'll start in the NFL because these numbers always seem to be around the NFL, the early 70s, late 60s. And we'll start with the guard, Larry Allen. he was academically he wasn't academically eligible to play NCAA football, so he attended Butt College in Oroville, California, and thrived on that team. He was a big reason to the school's success on the football field. He would end up spending a season away from football before enrolling at Sonoma State. I did two school north of San Francisco where he was a standout, leading to the Dallas Cowboys selecting him in the second round of the 94 draft. He could have been drafted higher, but a rotator cuff had spooked some teams pre-draft. And with the Cowboys, Allen was an immediate impact. Massive guard had enough agility to also play offensive tackle. And that unique ability got him more time on the field. He'd earn all rookie honors. Larry Allen would predominantly play guard, and he'd dominate the league while doing it. Although when asked to protect Hall of Fame quarterback Troy Aikman at offensive tackle, Allen literally stepped over and did it well, becoming just the third player to be selected to the Pro Bowl at more than one offensive line position in his career. His insane power combined with his surprising agility made him a marvel to watch on the field. This led to 10 Pro Bowls, 6 first team All Pros, and 1 second team All Pro. He was a big reason the Cowboys won Super Bowl 30 over the Steelers, and that was the only Super Bowl ring of his career. Despite 12 terrific seasons in Dallas, Larry Allen was released at the end of the season by the Cowboys, only for him to get picked up by the San Francisco 49ers, and the only time we'd see Allen in the number 71. He'd earned the 11th and last Pro Bowl nod of his career, and he battled injuries with the 49ers, but he would sign a one-day contract with Dallas so he could retire a Cowboy, and in retirement, he'd be showered with accolades. NFL 1990s All-Decade Team, NFL 2000s All-Decade Team, NFL 100th Anniversary All-Time Team, and he was inducted to the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor. Following those accolades, Larry Allen would get inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, though, earlier this year, just June 2nd of 2024, Larry Allen passed away at the age of 52. His death is still undetermined. He was traveling, and yeah, it's a lot of shadiness on it. It's kind of messed up for one of the best players we've ever seen in the NFL to lose him so young at 52 and such mystery. It's very interesting. The next 73 on our list, also coming from the NFL, an offensive guard that played his entire NFL career with one franchise. I'm talking about the New England Patriot legend, John Hanna. He played college football for Paul Bear Bryant at Alabama, where Bryant would say Hanna was one of the greatest linemen he's ever coached. He played both the offensive tackle and guard position, earning second team All SEC, twice first team All SEC, and first team All American and unanimous All American. This led to the Patriots selecting Hanna fourth overall in the 1973 draft, and Hanna was a beast on the offensive line for the Patriots. His consistent play earned him many accolades with the team: 9 Pro Bowl appearances, 3 second team All Pros, and 7 first team All Pros. He could do it all. Block for the QB, run block, and pull as a lead blocker. Despite his individual success, though, Hanna never won a Super Bowl. He helped get the Patriots to Super Bowl 20, but after the pounding the Pats took from the Bears, Hanna would retire after the game. He spent his entire career, 13 seasons, excuse me, with the New England Patriots, and in retirement, the franchise honored one of their greats. Hanna was named to the NFL 1970s All-Decade Team, the NFL 1980s All-Decade Team, the NFL's 75th and 100th anniversary team, the Patriots 70 all 1970s team, all 80s team, their 35th and 50th anniversary team, and he was the first player inducted into the New England Patriots Hall of Fame. His 73 is retired by the Patriots. He's one of 8 players to have his number retired by the team. John Hanna was inducted to the College and Pro Football Hall of Fame, and he was the first Patriot to get enshrined in Canton as well. You cannot talk about the history of the New England Patriots without mentioning John Hanna. And we're going to stay in the NFL with legendary 73s, and the next one is former offensive tackle Ron Yeri. He went to Cerritos College before transferring to USC, and at USC became a fantastic offensive lineman. 3 first-team All-Pac 8 honors, consensus All-American, and unanimous All-American. In '67, his USC team won the Rose Bowl, and he was also also named national champions. This dominant college career led to the Vikings drafting Yeri first overall in the 68 NFL draft. Yeri became the first offensive lineman to be selected with the number one pick in the draft. And there wouldn't be another until Orlando Pace was selected by the Rams in the 97 NFL draft. Ron Yeri would become a fixture in the Vikings offensive line. During his time in Minnesota, they won 11 division titles and made it to 4 different Super Bowls. Unfortunately for Yeri and the Vikings, though, they lost all 4 of those matchups. The Vikings are still one of the franchises to have never won a Super Bowl despite playing in a few. A big part of Minnesota's success was due to Yeri's blocking. He'd make 7 Pro Bowl appearances, was named the 6 first-team All-Pros, and 1 second-team All-Pro. And after spending 14 seasons with the team that drafted him, he'd play his last professional season with the LA Rams before retiring. Despite dealing with tons of injuries over his career, Yeri didn't miss any games at all. His durability and talent were some of the reasons he's considered one of the 50 greatest Vikings. The Vikings put Yeri in their Ring of Honor, and he was also named to the Vikings' 25th and 40th anniversary teams. Ron Yeri was also named the NFL 1970s All-Decade Team. That impressive resume got Yeri inducted into the College and Pro Football Hall of Fames. The next 73 on the list, sticking with the NFL, going on the defensive side, the Italian-born Leo Nomellini. The mention requires another Ren City time machine moment because Nomellini and his family immigrated to the United States when he was an infant, and after stopping in Minnesota, they'd go to Chicago. After high school, Nomellini joined the Peace Corps, and it was there that he first started playing football. After the war, he received a scholarship to play at the University of Minnesota, where he was a stud, earning 3 first-team All-Big Nine nods. He was also named a second-team All-American, consensus All-American, and a unanimous All-American. This led to the 49ers drafting Nomellini 11th overall in the 1950 NFL draft, the first ever pick by the San Francisco 49ers. With the 49ers, Nomellini would play both sides of the line, offensive and defensive tackle, getting selected to 10 Pro Bowls while also making 3 second-team All-Pros and 6 first-team All-Pros. Known as one of the strongest men in the NFL, Nomellini would get tons of accolades after his playing days. 1950s All-Decade Team, NFL 50th Anniversary All-Time Team. 49ers honored Nomellini by inducting him into the 49ers Hall of Fame, and they retired the number 73 of the Big Italian. For his playing days, Nomellini would get inducted to the College and Pro Football Hall of Fame, and he did it off the field as well, appearing in many professional wrestling bouts under the name Leo the Lion Nomellini. The man did it all, represented his country in the Marine Corps, had a productive professional wrestling career, and he's in the College and Pro Football Hall of Fame. Amazing. Unfortunately, Nomellini would pass away in the year 2000, suffering from a stroke. He was 76 years at the age of passing, and an iconic figure that I learned more about while doing research for the Jersey Mentions. And I could read about sports history all day. And Nomellini, what a figure he was. For the next 73 mention, we stay in this Ren City time machine to talk about a defensive tackle that was born not too far from where this is being recorded, in Rhine, Saskatchewan. I'm talking about Arnie Weinmeister. Weinmeister would play a few different positions during his time at the University of Washington, which was interrupted by 4 years of Army service. He turned pro and played offensive tackle with the New York/Brooklyn Yankees in the All-American Football Conference. He would then play for the Giants in the NFL, earning 4 Pro Bowl selections and 4 first-team All-Pro nods. After his time in New York, he joined the BC Lions of the CFL and was part of their inaugural roster in 1954. He played 2 seasons with the Lions before retiring. His career was brief, but Weinmeister was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's one of 5 Saskatchewan natives to make it to the NFL. The other 4, John Ryan, the punter, running back Ruben Mays, guard Ben Heenan, and center Brett Jones. Fortunately, Arnie Weinmeister would pass away in the year 2000 at the age of 77 from cancer. Staying in the NFL, the next number 73 on the list is a guard that played his entire career with one franchise. Talking about Baltimore Ravens great Marshall Yanda. Yanda played college football at the University of Iowa, and with the Hawkeyes, Yanda earned second-team All-Big Ten, leading to the Ravens selecting Yanda in the 3rd round of the 2007 NFL Draft. His rookie season, Yanda played 16 games, 12 of them starts, earning a spot in the All-Rookie team. It would take a few seasons, but Marshall Yanda would earn the starting guard position. And once he got that job, he did not relinquish it. 6 straight Pro Bowl appearances, 3 second-team All-Pros, 2 first-team All-Pros. Key member of the Super Bowl 47 winning Ravens team that beat the 49ers in the Harbaugh Bowl. John Harbaugh's Ravens did enough to beat out brother Jim Harbaugh. Yanda's Pro Bowl streak was ruined in 2017 when he'd break his ankle and miss all but 2 games that season. But Yanda would return from injury in great form, making 2 more Pro Bowls and 2 more second-team All-Pros before retiring. Yanda was named to the NFL 2010's All-Decade team, and this fall will be the first year of eligibility for the guard to make it to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I think considering he is one of the best guards of his generation, he should get in. I just don't know if he's a first ballot. That may go to his former teammate, jersey number 55, shout out Terrell Suggs. Both legendary Ravens are on their first ballot this year. If not this year, I see Marshall Yanda going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But it'll be interesting to see who makes it in. Wrapping up the football portion, we go to a current player that has worn 73 his entire career with one team. Buffalo Bills offensive tackle Dion Dawkins. He played college ball at Temple University, where he was an all-AAC selection in his senior year. That got him an invitation to the Senior Bowl, and he was named top lineman of the game. This increased his draft stock, leading to the Buffalo Bills selecting him in the second round of the 2017 NFL Draft. Dawkins didn't initially start, but he'd earned the starting gig, and he even pulled a play not many linemen can say they've had in his career. Make a reception for a 7-yard pass from Matt Barkley, and then deciding to keep up with that trend, he caught another touchdown pass the following season, this one from Josh Allen. Dawkins would sign an extension to stay in Buffalo, but he'd face some adversity as well. In 2021, he began training camp on the COVID-19 reserve list and needed some time to return to playing shape. Dawkins later revealed how he spent 4 days in the hospital battling COVID, saying it was one of the lowest parts of his life. Dawkins bounced back in a big way, though, making 3 straight Pro Bowls. At the conclusion of the season, Dawkins signed another contract extension, keeping him in Buffalo through the 2027 season. Just glad to see the dude healthy and on the field. Leaving the gridiron for the hockey rink, the first 73 mention on our list comes from Bonavista, Newfoundland. I'm talking about Michael Ryder, of course. Ryder spent his younger days playing for the Hull Olympiques of the QMJHL. And that led to the Montreal Canadiens drafting him in the 8th round of the 1998 NHL draft. Ryder wouldn't get the call up to the NHL until the 2003 season, but he made a huge splash, 25 goals and 63 points. There'd be a lockout, which would kind of kill Ryder's momentum. He'd go to Sweden to play away from the NHL, but he'd return to the Canadiens, putting up solid seasons, back-to-back 30-goal seasons. But he'd struggle the following season, and Canadiens wouldn't keep him. He'd sign a deal to join the Bruins, where his best goal-scoring season was his first, where he'd hit the back of the net 27 times, 53 points, but a few seasons later was Ryder's best. Not because of individually what he did, but because of what the team did. He and the Boston Bruins defeated the Vancouver Canucks in Game 7 of the 2011 Stanley Cup Finals. We all remember the riot that triggered it in the British Columbia capital, but we forget Michael Ryder became the second Newfoundlander to get his name etched on the Stanley Cup. Daniel Cleary of Harbour Grace, Newfoundland, was the first with the Red Wings in 2008. And since then, Alex Newhook of the Avalanche made it 3 Newfies when he raised the cup in 2022. Ryder would leave the Bruins for the Dallas Stars and show no sign of slowing down, scoring a career-high 35 goals for the Stars. His next season, he dealt with injuries, and he went back to where it all started, joining the Montreal Canadiens. And after 27 games in a lockout-shortened season, he'd sign with the Devils, where he'd wrap up his career. But what a career. His 237 goals, 484 points, those are career records for anybody born in Newfoundland and Labrador, making him the most prolific scorer in the province's history. So pretty cool there. Ryder's also represented Canada internationally, picking up a bronze medal at the World Juniors in 2000. The next number 73 hockey player on the list is right winger Tyler Toffoli. He played for the Ottawa 67s in the OHL, and he'd get drafted in the KHL, but declined. But he was drafted again, 47th overall by the LA Kings in the 2010 entry draft. He'd suit up for the AHL affiliate, the Manchester Monarchs, before getting the call up for the Kings. But he'd also pick up the AHL's Dudley Red Garrett Award for Rookie of the Year. But after that NHL call-up, Toffoli was a huge reason the Kings won the 2014 Stanley Cup, even picking up an assist on Alec Martinez's Stanley Cup winning goal in double overtime at Game 5 over the New York Rangers. Not too long after becoming the first player in NHL to record a hat-trick in an outdoor game, Toffoli was traded to the Vancouver Canucks as a rental. Canucks did not choose to resign Toffoli, and he'd sign a 4-year deal to join the Montreal Canadiens. He battled injuries in Montreal and was traded to the Flames, where he had a good campaign. He did endure a 16 game goalless streak, only to break it in the playoffs and set up a nice battle of Alberta. The Flames lost to the Oilers in the following season. The Flames kind of blew the team up. Foley moved up to the top line and scored a career high 34 goals and 73 points. But the Flames struggled as a team and wouldn't make the playoffs. And as the rest of the Flames were abandoning ship, Toffoli asked for a trade and was sent to the Devils. He only played 61 games as a Devil before getting sent to Winnipeg as another rental. And after this past season, Tyler Toffoli signed a 4-year deal to join the San Jose Sharks, bringing some veteran leadership to that young team. He's also played for Canada, though, winning a gold at the under-17 level and 2 more golds at the World Championships. We finish up our hockey wrap-up here, the 73 portion, with an American defenseman, Charlie McAvoy. He committed to play hockey at Boston University and played in the USHL for a few seasons, but he was a beast in college, leading to the Bruins selecting him 14th overall in the 2016 NHL Draft. McAvoy ended his college career when he signed a deal with Boston's AHL affiliate, the Providence Bruins, and he'd get his first bit of NHL action when the Bruins called him up in the playoffs. The following season, he'd start the season in the regular lineup, but shortly after New Year's Day, McAvoy was operated on for symptoms that was diagnosed as supraventricular tachycardia. I probably should have wrote that down a better way. But that scary moment kept him out of the lineup for a while. He recovered wonderfully, though, and the 26-year-old is really making a name for himself in the NHL. He's constantly getting better, and I feel like Boston's got a good one in Charlie McAvoy. He's also represented the United States at the international level, especially at his younger ages, winning gold in the under-17s, under-18s, and a gold and bronze in the under-20s. He's also got a bronze at the World Championships. That brings us to the baseball diamond. The first 73 on our list has some pretty serious blemishes on his resume. I'm talking about left-handed pitcher Felipe Vasquez. The Venezuelan left-handed pitcher signed with the Tampa Bay Rays as an international free agent and represented them at the All-Star Future Games. However, before he could make his MLB debut, Vasquez was traded to the Washington Nationals, and there he would make his debut in the big show as a relief pitcher, with pitches reaching up to 100 miles an hour. It's very up and down in Washington, and that led to the Nationals trading Vasquez to the Pirates. In Pittsburgh, Vasquez found his groove and made it to 2 straight All-Star games, but that's where things really started to fall apart for Vasquez. In a span of a week, his whole life was turned around. September 10th, 2019, Vasquez was involved in a clubhouse fight with teammate Kyle Crick, and Crick broke his finger, requiring season-ending surgery. 7 days later, the Pirates placed Vasquez on the restricted list, and this was because he was arrested on multiple charges of unlawful contact with a minor. He was also placed on administrative leave by Major League Baseball. Vasquez was arrested on charges of computer pornography, of child pornography on his computer, specifically alleging that he solicited a child, provided obscene materials to minors, and he said he was in a sexual relationship with a 13-year-old from Florida. Hours later, he was then charged with statutory sexual assault, unlawful contact with a minor, corruption of minors, and indecent assault of a person less than 16. Vasquez admitted that in 2017 he had a sexual encounter with a girl when she was 13 years old. The charges continued from there, and Vasquez was sentenced to this, I couldn't believe, only 2 to 4 years in state prison? That's unreal. For everything I just said, that's what he got. My goodness. But after his time in prison, Vasquez has been since deported back to Venezuela, but that's just an unreal story. The more I dove into that, I was like, Jesus, Murphy. The last MLB pitcher on our number 73 list, looking a little dyslexic at it, is a guy trying to make a bigger name for himself. Chicago Cubs right-handed pitcher from Venezuela, Adbert Alzolay. He had signed with the Cubs as an international free agent back in 2013. Didn't make his MLB debut till 2019. He's having a decent season as a reliever this season, but picked up an elbow injury that required Tommy John surgery. So hopefully he can return from that injury in a positive way next season. The NBA is slim pickings for the 73. All I could find was Dennis Rodman, who wore the 73 for just 23 games, playing with the LA Lakers back in 98-99. But as I mentioned with our jersey numbers that Dennis Rodman has wore before, we will honor the worm on episode 91. The number, he was rocking with the Bulls when he won titles there. But, yeah,